This book review is for aspiring art students, but really it's for anyone interested in art. It's called 200 Projects to Strengthen Your Art Skills, and it's by Valerie Colston. It is absolutely fabulous. It's jam-packed with information, 200 projects as it says, and it really does have that. It's got a contents, lines, marks. I'm just going to skip through some of this to give you a bit of an idea. It's got stuff for complete beginners, but it's also got stuff for advanced students of art as well. And of course, a student of art is just any artist, really. Lines and pattern in nature, and then she gives all these wonderful examples. I'm just going to keep flicking through. Beautiful example here about the different use of colour. Okay, I'm going to pause for a moment on this fabulous page, which is all about composition, and it gives you this fabulous example about triangles. I love using triangles, and it's been used since the 15th century, and here it is being used for 3 pots in a triangle, and then even for a figure. Again, triangles. So this is the sort of information that is really helpful. The magic of 3s, and then over here some use of circles, and then you repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. That's the sort of thing Shirley Trevena does. Then this beautiful example down here of a piece of art where you've got the balance of the colour, those magic purpley blues that are balanced off with their complements in the sky. Colour and tone. I'm just going to keep flicking. Really easy to understand. And then it's got suggestions down here about start some swatching. But if you're more advanced, then it's got a piece of art like this one that is about 6-colour palette painting. And again, so more advanced, simple, more advanced. It covers all sorts of beautiful examples. Look at this spread about cool colours, and then you flick the page to warm colours and the incredible difference you get. Complementary colours. Look at this cat, purple and yellow cat. A bit about light and dark, then it moves into texture and pattern. And this one I love again. So starts off with something wonderfully simple like line texture, and it goes through cross-hatching. Cross-hatching's over there actually, but something that anyone can do there. And then over here, something really complex like this beautiful bird. Love pattern. Oh, this one here. How about that for a brilliant idea? Take a composition, put it together, sketch out your design, and then in each section put a different pattern. And then they've balanced it so beautifully with these rest areas, so areas where there is no pattern at all. Look at these magic tiles. Oh, so beautiful. It says they're from 1,000 years ago. Okay. Cool, camouflage. Oh, I've got this one here because, again, wonderful example for newbies that, well, you can be thinking about something simple like 2 pieces of fruit and the beautiful reflections. You can do a landscape with reflections. You can do, look at this telephone, and then this really, really pale reflection. And then there's this fabulous idea, which I've seen many times in paintings, but it's this beautiful version of it. And they've painted reflections in the sunglasses. So it's not only full of ideas that you could do yourself, but it's got ideas that might help you in the process. Some really complex paintings here, such as the distortion of form via what the water's doing on top, or you distort it purposely by yourself. It's this fabulous section on perspective. So it divides it up into aerial perspective and linear perspective. It's got this really simple explanation about 1, 2 and 3 point perspective. And then it's got these fabulous tips here, which I've used in these paintings here and here, about aerial perspective, such as texture you can see in the foreground and not in the background, and about chroma, your colour, that in the foreground your chroma is pure and full. It can be strong colour like these ones here, and then as you move away, desaturate your colours, and that's exactly what this little painting is here, and that's what I did on this painting. So this is step 1 and this is step 2. So I'll just talk about those a little bit more at the ending, because I want to flick through the rest of the book in case you're interested in just seeing the book before I talk about my stuff. It's got a beautiful section again on negative space. So look at these two faces versus the vase in between, and do you see the faces or do you see the vase? Love that one. She's even got a section on where will you lead your viewer. So it's got sections like this one here where you lead in, and that leads you around the painting. I'm always banging on about ways to lead the viewer into the painting. Casting shadows, 3D space, more stuff about human figures and hands, and then it goes into techniques. So in this section, she covers all sorts of different types of media. So watercolor, which is what I focus on most of the time, and then she goes into oils and acrylics and experimental techniques with acrylics. So, you know, if you're an acrylic painter and you get stuck and you want to do a little bit of texture build-up, she's got an example there of something that you could do. A bit of monoprinting. She finishes off with creating your portfolio, what to do, things to put through, and she finishes off with an index and a glossary. So say, for example, you'd like a little quick summary of alla prima, then she's got a little quickie there, or expressionism, post-expressionism, just some lovely basics of stuff that you might want to very quickly look up. Really just a brilliant book, this one. So I'm just going to put that aside and talk about perspective, and that she focuses on in the book. So this is step one, where you create softness in the background, and this is a finished version, which is really hard to see, but those trees similarly appear up there. So what I've done in the distance is desaturate the color and have very little detail. So I'm graying down my colors, and if you want to watch that video, I'll put a link to it. It's really awesome, as in it takes you through absolutely step by step about aerial perspective, and it's about space. In this one, I've created a leading line as well, which is another thing that she's covered in her book, 200 Projects to Strengthen Your Art. And the other thing I've done is put texture in the foreground, a little bit of texture in that middle ground, and no texture in the background. The fully saturated colours in the foreground, desaturated colours in the background, and that's really obvious. Just worth having on your shelf for those moments when you get stuck and you're thinking, oh, what can I do? Or you might want an idea, or you might want to further a project that you're working on. Top book. Well done, Valerie. Thanks for watching, guys.